We have polynomial synthetic division. Yesterday we did long division. And if you need the central question or objective, it's on the board as always. And now, once again, here is our first example. I have 2x cubed minus 13x squared plus 26x minus 24 divided by x minus 4, okay? So, when we're doing synthetic division, we always need to take the factor that we're dividing by. So in this case, it's x minus 4. And we need to solve for x. So how do I solve for x? Or how do I solve? What do I do to solve? There were questions like this on the quiz when I said solve for x. What did you have to do every time? Not divide. Not multiply. Set it equal to 0? Remember we did that on the quiz? Oh, so long ago? No, some of you did not remember, judging by the quiz grades. But yes, you have to set it equal to 0. How do I solve for x now? Add 4. Add 4. So what does x equal? Oh, we are off to a rough start today. X equals 4. That's the first step every time I have a synthetic problem. Okay, my next step, and this is where you need to be really neat and really organized, and some of you aren't the best at that, so try your best today to be really neat, because this gets, jumbled up pretty easily. You're going to draw a little box like this, and then you're going to draw a line. So probably two lines down is okay. So the box on one line and the line below the second line. Okay. And then I'm going to take my x value and I'm going to fill that into the box. So what does x equal again? 4, and I'm going to write that inside my box right here. Okay. Now across the top, next to that over here, I have to put the coefficients of the polynomial I'm dividing by. Do you remember what a coefficient is? What is it? I heard someone. No, we don't know what a coefficient is? That's a variable. The numbers in front of the variable. Why am I circling all the negative signs? Or all the subtraction signs? Because those go in there too, because those numbers are negative. So the coefficient is the number that's in front of the variable, or our last one is the constant term since it doesn't have a variable. But I need to write all these numbers. So first I'm going to write a positive 2. What's my second number? Negative 13. What's my third number? 26. And what is my last number? Negative 24. Okay, is this okay so far? We're just setting everything up. Okay, every single time you have to set it up just like this. Now is where we're going to start solving, okay? So the first thing we do is drop down that number. So I'm going to write a 2 below the line. I'm going to write a 2 below the line. Does that make sense so far? Okay, now I'm going to take that number and multiply it to what's in the box. So what is 2 times 4? 8. And I'm going to bring that up. Okay, now I'm going to add straight down. What is negative 13 plus 8? Sorry, I have to sneeze. Negative 5. So now, we had negative 13 plus 8 is negative 5. And I'm going to multiply again. So what is negative 5 times 4? Negative 20. And that's the number that's going to come up. What is 26 minus 20? What is 26 minus 20? Positive 6. And I'm going to multiply again. What is 6 times 4? And what is negative 24 plus 24? 0. So do I have a remainder on this question? No. Okay. Now, before I show you how to write the answer, does this problem look familiar? It should. It was the first warm-up question, wasn't it? Yeah, it's the first warm-up problem. Okay, I'm not solving it the same way, am I? I'm doing synthetic. On the warm-up, you probably did long division because that's all I taught you yesterday. So, in order to write our answer, what we're going to do is look at now our variable. Do you see what the exponent is on my leading variable? It's an x cubed, right? What is 1 less than x cubed? X squared. So that means I have 2x squared minus 5. What's the next variable going to be? 5x. And then I have plus 6. Does the 6 have a variable on it? No, because that's going to be my new constant term. So in order to fill in the variables, I'm always going to look at whatever my leading exponent is and subtract 1. So if I had like x to the 6th, what would the first variable in my answer be? X to the 5th. That's always going to be 1 less. So I got 2x squared minus 5x plus 6. Now if you look at the warm-up, is that the same answer? Did I get the right answer? Yes. So that is my answer. That's a different method of solving it, okay? Okay, we're going to try our next example. Here is number 2. I have 6x cubed plus 14x squared plus 14x plus 1 divided by x plus 1. And I'm going to call on you guys using your seat numbers so we can see, do we really know what's going on? I think you do. You'll be okay. Okay, seat number 19. I know you're still writing, but seat number 19, can you tell me what is my first step? What is the first step?
Do
you know it?
My first step is to move the 1.
What do you... What?
Well, okay. My first step is to write down x plus 1 equals 0.
Okay, x plus 1 equals 0. Good. And you got that because that's what I'm dividing by, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what did you do next? You move the positive to the other side. Okay, so I subtracted 1 to make a 0 pair and get x equals negative 1?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say? Do we agree with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, my next step, I'm going to give you this one, is to draw the box. Whoops. And our line, right? Got to remember that part every time. Seat number 6 is empty. Seat number 17, what do I do now? How do I start filling this in?
You write down the coefficients of
Okay, so what are my coefficients then?
6.
Uh-huh.
Positive 6, positive 14.
Uh-huh. Like this?
Yeah.
Okay, do we agree with him? Is there anything else that I need to do now?
You write down the 1 in the box.
Yeah, I have to put my negative 1 over here, right? Whatever I found for x. Okay, seat number 13. What do I do now?
Then you put it under the 1.
What do you mean, put it under the 1?
What other numbers
Under the line? Okay, so first step. What do I bring down first?
6.
Okay, good. So I bring the 6 straight down. Do we agree with her? Yes. Okay, seat number 26. What's my next step?
Not here.
Not here? Seat number 8. What's my next step?
You multiply by negative 1.
Yes, 6 times negative 1. And what is that?
Negative 6.
Perfect. Seat number 35. What's my next step? Okay, so I add down. What's 14 minus 6?
14 minus 6 is 8.
Yes, thank you. Next, to seat 24. What's my next step?
You gotta put, what's it called? You gotta multiply
Uh-huh.
negative 1 and 8. You gotta put it to below 14.
Yes, negative 1 times 8 goes below 14, and that is negative 8. Seat number 27. Next step. Is that one empty? Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You subtract,
which is perfect. Seat number 7. What do I do now? What do I have to do? I have to multiply, so what do I multiply together? And perfect. So I get -6. And finally, last step is seat number 5. What do I do now?
You have to add, subtract, add both materials, get negative.
Add down, and I got, what'd you say?
-5.
Perfect. Do we all agree so far?
Yeah.
Have we done, this is all good so far? I like it. Okay, do I have a remainder on this problem? Yes, what is my remainder? -5. Okay, so now I have all the coefficients to my answer, and I can fill in my answer. So what is my first exponent going to be? Good, so I'm going to have 6x squared, then what? Plus 8x, then plus 6. And what do I do with my remainder? -5 over x plus 1. That's the same as yesterday. I write my remainder over whatever I divided by. Now, is it going to take this long every single time you do a synthetic problem? No, because I was going around by one, step by step, and I literally asked every single one of you to do a different step. Now, if you do this all in your head, will it take you that long? No, probably not. It'll probably take you about 30 seconds to do this on your paper, okay? This is my correct answer. Do we understand what we're doing?
Yeah.
This is a little bit easier than long division, now that we see what's happening. Okay, now, here's the reason I taught you long division yesterday, okay? So we're going to look on the next slide. So, first I'm giving you a factor. What's that factor? X plus 1. What do you have now? What do you have now? And what do I have now? Now? And so what do I notice about how these have been split up? Yes. Yeah, both of you. On the right side, the variables have coefficients. Do you all agree with them? Yeah, I agree. So on the left side, I have a coefficient on my variable, right? But what is it? It's 1. But on the right side, I have a 2x, I have a 3n, I have a 5k. Can you look at the last 2 examples that we did? The factors that we divided by, what do you notice about them? Their coefficient was 1, okay? So when I have a coefficient of 1, what kind of division can I use? Synthetic. Can I do it with can I do that if I have a coefficient other than 1? Like on the right side, can I use synthetic division still? Over here, can I use synthetic division?
Not really, because it'll be a fraction.
Yeah, because it'll be a fraction and I have a variable other than 1, okay? So, if you have a coefficient on your variable, you need to use long division, okay? So can you just make like 2 little charts and label them synthetic and long division and write the proper factors under each one, just so you know when you do your homework later, like where it comes from, okay? Write that down real quick. So now I have 2 U-tries for you. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. Can you do these ones for me, please? For both of them, because it's synthetic division. I'm telling you, use synthetic division. Okay? You can do these 2. On a test or a quiz, am I going to tell you, use synthetic division or use long division? No, I'm just going to say divide. And you need to figure out which method is most appropriate, okay? I'm going to put up the work for the first one. If you're not done, then don't look at it yet. But for those of you here, you can check your work. Okay, here's number 3, the first you tried. Did you get it right? Yeah? Okay, so what should the final answer be? X squared plus 4x minus 1. Do we all agree? And I had no remainder. Perfect. Are you still working on the last one? Okay, I'll give you another minute or so. Okay, here's the work for number 4. Did we get that right? It's a -3 is the remainder. So you should have had 4k cubed plus 3k squared plus 4k plus 1 minus 3 over k minus 3, yes? We read the remainder correctly? Okay. How are we feeling about synthetic division? A lot better than long division? Yeah. When I was in high school, I hated synthetic division. I thought it was so hard. I didn't learn it very well. And then I got into college and I was like, this is so easy. Why did I like long division better? Okay, so I'm going to skip example 5 and we're going to go to 6 because it kind of combines the two. So this will be our last thing. We have about 6 minutes left. And I don't know why there are no parentheses on this. It's a mistake. So put parentheses around it, please. Because if there's no parentheses, then there's a whole mess with it. So it has to have parentheses. Because of the order of operations. But, you know, we're not awesome at the order of operations. I think that was the most missed question on the quiz, was the order of operations question. Okay, so we're going to look at this. I have 5n cubed plus n to the 4th plus 12 plus 3n squared divided by n plus 4, and there's some issues going on with this. What is the first thing that you notice? Sam? Yeah, they're not in descending order, and I heard a lot of you say that, right? They're not in the correct order. So can we reorder them? Yeah, so what should come first? N to the 4th, then what? Then, whoops, that's it. Plus 5n cubed plus 3n squared. Now, before I write plus 12, what normally comes after my n squared term? An n term. Do I have an n term? Do I need one? Yes. It would be 0, right? Because if I have no money, I have $0. And if I have no n terms, I have 0 n terms. So I'm going to fill that in with a 0n. Now, from yesterday when we were doing long division, we didn't get to any problems that were A, out of order, or B, missing a term. But you would do that the same exact way. Reorder it, and you always use 0 as a placeholder when you're missing a term. Does that make sense? Okay, so then after 0n, what's my last one then? Good, plus 12. And now do we know how to finish solving it from here? Yeah, it's exactly what we've been doing. Okay, so I'm going to make my little box and my line. So what is n equal to? What is that value? What is it? -4. Good, because I have n plus 4 equal to 0. And then what are the numbers that I fill in across? What are my coefficients? 1, positive 1, then what? 5, 3, what else? 0. We have to include that one. And I promise you that was like the most missed problem on this quiz and test last year. Everybody forgot the 0. Please, 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 please remember to put the 0. And what's my last term? 12. Good. So I'm going to bring down the 1. -4 times 1 is -4. 5 minus 4 is 1. -4 times 1 is -4. 3 minus 4 is -1. Good. -4 times -1 is 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 times -4 is -16. So my remainder is -4. Okay, there's a lot of 4s and 1s on this problem. Okay, so then what is my final answer? 1n cubed. Because remember, okay, that's a common mistake. Once I reordered it, it's going to be 1 less than the reordered one, okay? So I have n cubed plus n squared. Stop packing up. Minus n plus 4 minus 4 over n plus 4. That's a lot of 4s. Okay, does that make sense? Do you understand how to do synthetic division? Okay. Please show me right now out of 5. How do you feel about synthetic division?